you know, I am blessed to be in this club. You know, it's not what the club is blessed for us. So it's the joint effort that we do around the world that makes us recognizable for such people's life. Somewhat. Okay. I have a coach, so I have to so you can probably follow me with the camera anyway, so you can stay alive. So, first of all, I would like to acknowledge Veterans Governor John. John, he was a great governor in this district, and he touched a lot of people with his leadership and his kindness and his really calm and collected mood that he drove this district. He led this district. So thanks again. And I still cherish every moment. You and me, we drove all the way to St. Louis, and he was instigator in getting ambulance, and we gave it to that city, and we talked to them all the time. And that ambulance saved a lot of lives, especially in the pandemic. So thank you again for all you've done. We've got something for you, so I'll give it to you at the end of the speech. So if anybody, after 2 hours probably, you will wait. So I'm gonna put you in charge of each other. I cannot do that. I cannot do that. So, first, again, also I'd like to acknowledge my wife, Dr. Lisa. She's been not only a wife, she's been a friend. You know, the things that will give me motivation to go, and I'm blessed because we can always go together, do things together. And I would also want to say, all your partners, or your husband and your wife, I mean, they play a great role in Rotary, although they're not Rotary, but they play a great role in Rotary to keep us, you know, fed and healthy and motivated, and give us the time to spend the time in Rotary. So I will give them so much credit as much we give ourselves credit. So today, I hope in the next 2 hours, you stay awake, that you remember anything that you have done. But also, I'm going to invite you to come at the end of the speech. And in the past 3 or 4 months, we collect so much stuff traveling around the world, and I will talk about that also in my speech today. So, okay, I'll come back. So, with that, I want to acknowledge all of you also, because of you, this club exists. And President Lyndon, you're having your engine, you can't wait, huh?
I know.
And I want to thank you again for all you're giving for the foundation. And with that, I want to match you with $500 that we're going to put into global grant. Because we gave enough to the foundation. We're forming global grant that will take direct hit or direct effect into the grants that we're helping in the world. So
thank you.
You have $500 to match your giving, so from my wife and myself. So thanks again, and here we go. Let's see. Besides all the challenges in the world and the challenges that Rotary has worldwide for many years and is coming. Now we have a lot more challenges that's appearing, and I want to talk about that, and I want to talk also about the solutions that will, what we bring to the equation. So most of those challenges that I'm going to talk about, besides a lot of other challenges that are around. So everywhere you go, there's homelessness, there's people to feed, there's people to talk to. So there's a lot of challenges, and our role will never end. So the challenges we're going to talk about: economic challenge, environmental challenge, disaster and wars, human challenge, pandemic, mental health, and artificial intelligence. And that's something that's coming up into us, treating us. So the economical situation in the world is really deteriorating. It started deteriorating since 1995 when productivity kept going up, but the life and the salaries for people who are working that kept going down. So that economical it created an economical inequality in our communities, and those communities keep deteriorating because of that. And you can see the gross domestic product is really going down in our country, our own country. So we have challenges in our own country right now that we are facing right now. The other challenge is environmental. And as you can see, we have a lot of environmental issues. The freshwater shortage, lower crop, food shortage, wildfires, health problems, flood, and coastal and species that disappearing, and those species help us. So, and you can see in every country, in every continent, almost, there is different challenges because of the environment. And if we are helping right now a Rotary Club from Canada, putting a movie on 1.5 degrees. You can go on YouTube, and then you can put 1.5 degrees. And our club is a partner for those Rotary Acts with their global events. So they're working on it, but they put the movie already together. So, and you can see the environmental change in the migration. So with the environmental changes, people are migrating around the world. And you can see even just United States alone, we have over 11 million people that have migrated into our country. You see, maybe our country will absorb that because we have the infrastructure for that. But think about like Mexico or some countries in like Tunisia. Those countries are not set up. They do not have the resources set up for them to absorb that. So what will happen? It will create uncertainty in the communities, and also it will threaten peace in those communities, and it creates an economic hardship on those communities. So not only the environmental things is affecting the environment, affecting also people. And the pandemic, a lot of people also migrated, like over here in the United States. New York migrated to Florida, right? A lot of them, and they're not coming back. A lot of people migrated from the cities to the suburbs. They're not going back. And with the technology that we have, they're not going back. So they're going to stay because they can work from their home sometimes, most of the time. How that affects the global peace? You can see most of the countries that are affected by floods and dry weather and stuff. You can see the positive peace index is the lowest. So besides what they have in the economical hardship, now the environmental bring in more hardship to them. So it's affecting the economical peace. And you look around, you turn the TV and you start looking around, and you're looking around the news. The news is bad. Well, where is no war? Middle East is on war. Palestine, Africa, South America, there is a lot of uncertainty right now in Peru and stuff. Venezuela, I mean, the migration and the fighting. Everywhere, Ukraine, there is everywhere you look around, because of the hardship that's caused by economical or by environmental, it's really bringing the world to its knees. Now, wars and natural disasters. The biggest war we can talk about right now, and it's the top of every TV, every channel, is the war in Ukraine. But the war in Ukraine is not the only war, like we said. There are wars everywhere, but because of the strategic point of Ukraine, that's why we see it. And my wife and I, we traveled to Ukraine not too long ago. We were back on November 5th from Ukraine after traveling to Lebanon. And my wife had a project with Lebanon to clean up the river in Beirut River in Lebanon. And what's I'll talk about it probably on this time when we come to it. So, and then we went from Lebanon to Georgia, from Georgia to Armenia. And in every country we go into, we are holding a grand seminar or grand workshop so we can show them how to use the money from the foundation. And then from there to Poland, and from Poland to Ukraine. And in Ukraine, in the middle of the war, I was a speaker in their session for public image and membership. And guess what? Although the war is going on, their membership soared in 1 year, 235 members. After that district, when I got invited to help them with their first RILA that they put on 4 years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, that was the first year of the existence of that district. At that time, the district didn't have that much resources. Now they have more resources, but membership was threatened because their membership went below 1,100. And any district, as John knows, any district that goes below 1,100, they just dissolve that district. Rotary will dissolve that district. Now they're showing over 1,400 members. Why is that? The war gave the Rotarians the opportunity to go and serve. So many people are joining Rotary in Ukraine because they have a place to serve, like our aide in Kiev and Lviv. Both of them, they were Rotary. And one of them, he said, I lost my job, I didn't have anything to do. I looked around, and the first thing I see is Rotary helping me. So what I do, I asked, where can I help? They said, join the Rotary and start helping. And we went to many places where they have distribution centers underground, and the distribution coming from everywhere in the world. So, and the Rotarians are playing a big role in that. From Germany, from Poland, from everywhere in Europe, the Rotarians are playing a big role in this. I think one district was able to give 11 ambulances to Ukraine. So we started a fundraiser, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But again, the earthquake in Syria and Turkey, again, that's another challenge that the world is facing right now. And they have a real hard time because of the cold weather, and they lost. By the time they finish, they lost, probably they will be losing over 90 to 100,000. So that's more than the war in Ukraine, and that's a natural disaster. So again, the population in the world, and that's another challenge, right? About 6 months ago, India went above China in population. So that's more people in the world to feed, to take care of their health, to have jobs for them, whatever what have you. And the important thing that India can support what they do economically. They are, because of the youth people that are born. China, they did not have many youth coming up because they have the policy of one child. Now they open it up because they realize that them and some people in Europe and some other countries, even the United States, we have shortage of workers, right? What we do, we just open the borders, right? To bring more workers. Well, I don't know how it works, if it's working right or not. I'm not going to get into the politics, but nevertheless, the world needs somebody to take care of the challenge. The biggest challenge also in this pandemic was mental health. And as you know, and you've seen on TV, all the people that are suffering or staying inside. Us, I can tell you one thing, we have the least amount of mental health and mental problems in the world in the public because the pandemic hit, what Rotary did? Say, let's meet on Zoom. And guess what? We met on Zoom. And we met on Zoom. And we met on Zoom. And that's, you know what? That helped the Rotarians helping each other and connecting with each other. And that only meeting on Zoom that connected us with the young people. So the young people, like in our case, we said, okay, what the Rotary actors are doing. We don't hear from them around the world. So we formed groups on WhatsApp. And one group sprouted up for over 25 groups. Now all the Rotary actors connected. They're the healthy one. He's not going to go and get food in the streets. So what we did, we started helping the Rotary Act. And one project in Colombia, what they did is they took a little flag and they gave it to a mature, I'm not going to say old, a mature person. And this, okay, so yeah, vintage. And they said, so they said, you ain't able to go, you're not going to go outside, your health will probably be. So what we will do is we will give you a flag. If you need something, put that flag in your bedroom. So when we pass by the young people, because they know their immune system is good, right? So when they pass by, they found that flag, they'll go over there and say, what do you need? Oh, I need an appointment with my doctor. I need some food, some. Then they go and they give it to them. So, and then that really sprouted the ball around the world. So, you know, our district over here do not, and John, no, I'm not talking bad about our district, but there are concentration on some things and not others. Like we concentrate on RILA, we concentrate on the Inner Act, but when it comes to Rotary Act, we disconnect. In our district, not only our district, in North America. Where do they connect the most? Is in India, in Nepal, in Bangladesh, and that shows you why the membership in those countries is thriving. Not because of that only, also with projects. Because they needed projects, they learn how to do global grants, and I'll talk about that too. And now more people are connected together, right? So, we've seen all these images. The interesting part is that your president next year, Gordon, what his main focus is? Anybody knows? Mental health. Because it's the cause of a lot of problems in our society. Crimes, everything else. Peace in the world, peace in your community is threatened by mental health. And we hear it all the time, we see it all the time, people shooting, mass shooting, whatever, what have you. Because of the fact the parents or the families got separated. I didn't see my family, you know. Not me, because I would go anyway. It doesn't matter. It did not matter. We did not stop working or going anywhere in the pandemic unless the country was close to us. But we will go anywhere, everywhere. So, and the last challenge I'll talk about. A lot of us, the young people, they see it coming. Now, right? You see it. You see it with the application right now. The chat, AI, whatever, you see it that we're going to be depending more and more. We're going to be dependent on computers. We're going to be dependent on somebody else's ideas, not our idea. There's a positive side of that because they're using it for like cancer, for mammograms, for breast cancer, and they've taken all that information and condensing it. But nevertheless, we're going to lose a lot of jobs. Look at who's driving this truck? Nobody's driving this truck. That's driven in Arizona right now. Nobody's driving that truck. So how that is going to affect the global inflation and everything else? People's salary will go down, no jobs. Another challenge. One person, right? Job loss everywhere in the world, right? So that's the biggest challenge. right now. And how it's gonna be solved, it's not gonna be solved. The inequality of in the world is still gonna be there. Well, there's a bright side for all of that. We are hiring. Rotary is open. We are hiring. How many guests we have today? Would you please stand up? We do not need to check your background. We do not need
That's a
to
good
check.
thing.
All we need is your beautiful hand to work with us and your kind heart to give. We have a foundation and we will go into it and tell you, show you what we do within our foundation. That's all we need from you. And we got a pin for all of you at the end of this session. So thank you again for being here. We appreciate you. And we look forward to you joining our group because we need your beautiful hand and your heart. And we need to also see your family and bring them to our family. You know, when I joined this family, I didn't even know West Rotary. When they invited me and I seen the wheel, I have at the time 6 gas stations. So I thought, oh, this is a driving club. I'm gonna make a lot of money on it. So I joined the club. I joined the Rotary Club. I didn't even know, but you know, it changed my life. So I hope it probably will change your life. So, and the people that we connected with around the world, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm done. Well, the president can tell me I'm done or not. I paid him, so I paid him well. So okay, here we go. Rotary is right now. You hear Rotary about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Rotary Act is the center of our attention and global grants. Again, Rotary and Rotary Acts are working around the world. Maybe we are up right now, but think about somewhere in the world, you know, they're asleep, right? We go to sleep, they're still working. So 24 hours, Rotary is existing around the world. These are different projects around the world that we have. You know, even cleaning rivers. The Rotary Act, I think John would remember that when we did the polio thing, our districts, and we raised $650,000 for 5330 and 5300. And these are projects around the world that we involved with or somebody else is involved with. Again, how did Rotary have connected? That project over there was 3 weeks ago. We were in a project in Thousand Smiles doing dental. We also, about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, we were meeting with President nominee and online. Over here, on the green one, where Sheikh Ramata is, we meet on a monthly basis with the whole world to connect on global grant on a monthly basis, and we connect them right online. And this one, we did a global grant also in Syria with the refugees. And on and on and on, but it's all mostly online right now, especially in the pandemic.
The center is in Ukraine, it stands from Russia.
Yes, that's actually in Ukraine. We are in a tank.
So it's officially over, but obviously, I don't think we'll give a shot to stop for.
I come to the club twice a year, so.
Can't go too
sometimes-
far fast, but go ahead.
Thank you. So the picture in the middle, we were on the front line in Ukraine when we went over there with a burn tank for Russian burn tank. So I will try to go fast. This project, and we'll talk about Rotary, what we do when we give. I'll tell you what, this is a story from my life. He asked me about moments in our life, and this is some of the moments in our life. We bring every year, Richard, well, we're taping, so you don't have to come in. So we bring from Mexico about 16 to 18 kids affected by leukemia. And when these kids, and they monitor them, they give them usually medicine, they monitor their system, whatever. when these kids know that they are coming to Disneyland, their immune system increased by 60%. So think about it. Hope, right? What's the motto of our president next year? Create hope in the world. Right? And that's the motto of our president next year. The hope increase their life. Give them life. So when we give, just the hope that we give around the world increase people's life. This project is my wife's pride and joy, and it was born in the pandemic. She was able to motivate over 1,500 volunteers in 11 cities in Mexico and in the United States. And we came together in different cities at the same time, in the same day. And the greatest thing about it is that we brought the communities together, the young people together, the government together, the resources from everywhere in those communities came together. The TV, we have 5 or 6 channels TV in Mexico covering these events. This is in Lebanon. We were talking about it before we went over there. She started communicating with them. But when we went to Lebanon, we started cleaning the river. The police stopped us. They said, you can go in this river up to there. You cannot go anymore because there's still mines in the ground when Israel was there. So you cannot go. The mines are not taken out. And that's, 30 years ago. We still have that problem. And that's what our club has one project with Ukraine for the mines. So let me see. Again, this is in San Bernardino. My wife and I, we donated a piece of land. We made it as a park. We call it a peace park. Kids come and plant, and they know how to plant. They will know how to use the resources that we have. And then also we have a peace pool in there. And also we have a monarch butterfly park. We planted the plants for them. And in whole San Bernardino, you will see those monarch butterflies come and recreate it. Resources and media. Rotary is the best resource you can have. If you go on the website, it's the best resource. The second resource we use is matchinggrants.org, and that's how we connect people. And if you can see over here, 4185. That's one visit. We were in Mazatlan, Puebla, about 2 months ago, helping them with the project there. And how many projects we established? 18 projects in 2 hours. They were posted into this website. So, and these are projects around the world, and then the media. This is from Colombia, about the 5th of February, where our President Jennifer Jones, she was there. We couldn't make it because we have another function. So, again, there's physical resources. In the middle of the pandemic, when nobody wants to drive anywhere, in November of 2019, we loaded a trailer load of oxygen tanks, oxygen machines, beds, and everything else. And then we drove physically 16 hours all the way to the border. We just delivered them and came back. And there was not one car on those whole borders. Not one car on the borders in Mexico. So, but after that, the pandemic was really bad, and they tell us how many lives we saved, especially with beds that were donated to us. And for all of you, if you need anything, we have 4 trailers full of stuff. Again, that's what's our foundation mission and Rotary mission, and then and our foundation. So you can get to those. Action speak louder than words. Rotary International, they concentrate on the 7 areas of focus. And I am also on the board of directors for the Rotary Action Group for Peace and member of ICC, Inter-Country Committee, for 2 country committees, Russia and Ukraine. You know, but I help both of them to do global grants anyway. And also, if you come to this over here, this bottle, That's how our third global grant with Ukraine. One is approved, one got submitted, resubmitted 2 weeks ago from our club. But what we're doing, we're helping the winemakers, yes. So there is flyers and those grants, one of them is approved for the mines, to remove the mines, is approved. The one with the Rotary Act and the Peace Corps is not approved yet, so we just submitted. And in the back of the bottle, this organization over here is from the north. It's called Mines to Vines Foundation. It's Heidi Khan, and they committed themselves to physically remove the mine, because our grant, we can locate the mines, establish but we cannot remove them physically. So we got this organization to help us. And on the back of this wine bottle, our club, and our club, the sister club, so you can take it. You can take it and present now. So, again, Rotary Foundation is the heartbeat of Rotary. So we will not be able to do all these projects if it wasn't for Rotary. And the greatest thing about Rotary, they were able to change their way of doing business. Look at that, right away. Turkey, Syria, Pakistan, and Ukraine. Those are where you can put your money. Now, these are grants that our club alone is involved with. These are on draft. Okay? That's a draft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. On draft. Submitted. It's one global grant. That's Nikolai Statienko. I just was talking about that right now. And these are approved global grants between last year and this year. This is your club. This is our club. This is your effort. Because of your support to us, that we can do that around the world. So, with that, I was talking to a great man on the corner over there. He said, I'm a Paul Harris fellow. I got so proud. Because anything you give in Rotary, you will get recognized on Rotary. But think about, not about the money, about the kindness that you will touch someone, somewhere in the world, you know, without even knowing them, without even shaking their hand, without even tasting their food. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all what you do in your community, in the world, and the support you give us, so we can go around and also do what we do and connect with people and bring them together to the benefit of serving others in the world. Mr. President, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for taking away food. So, go ahead.
So, Sean, amazing job. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Let me get your.
Okay. But can I give the junk jewelry and stuff?
Of course you can. Of course you can. So, and what's that?
I didn't say a word.
Maybe somebody have a question?
Do you have any questions as we wrap up?
Yes.
The pin, what's the significance of this new pin?
That pin is for next year, and Gordon McAnally will be our next Rotary International president, and he believes that hope that we create, it will, it says create hope in the world. By creating hope, it means by creating service, it will help people around the world. So it represents every year they have a theme. The theme this year, what's the theme this year?
It's, you just said it earlier. It's a
Imagine.
flag. Linden, the flag is down there on the
Imagine
sea.
Rotary.
Imagine Rotary.
Yeah,
Imagine what we
Rotary.
can do in Rotary. Imagine the service we do there. You can imagine anything, and that we do it in Rotary. So, thank you again.
Linden, the flag is right there. No, for next year, that one right there.
Create the world, create hope in the world.
Create hope in the world
Hope.
next year.
creates a better immune system.
Music.
Yes.
We have festivals that are done for peace, music, and then they did the Rotary Act did that, and we had online from everywhere in the world. We had about 400 people, and the people came online and sang. Some people in the pandemic, they were singing on their beds. You know, one lady from Brazil had 3 kids and making the music and everything, and right there and singing to everybody. You know, people were jumping up and down in Bangladesh, come and sing, and then she won the prize, and she was jumping up and down that she won the prize and stuff. So it's anything we do is will touch people and calm them down and create peace.